So, what is up, people? Welcome back, and we are back with something new. We are doing a fan debate. Yes, it is fan battles. Brentford versus Arsenal. Doing a bit of a preview, bit of a debate. It's going to be a good time. So, make sure all you guys smash that like button if you haven't already. And welcome, guys. Welcome. So, we got Steve and Daniel here. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, fine, Gracie, and cool. Yep.
Yeah, not
No
too
worries.
bad, thank you.
Brilliant. Make sure you guys go subscribe to Daniel. I'm going to put his link in the chat shortly. Make sure everyone shows him a bit of love on there. And that's pretty much it for the intro. Also, before we start, tomorrow at 12 p.m, I'm going live with Del Boy and hopefully Ola for another preview before the game. So make sure all you guys tune in
Check
for
that
that.
out. Check that out, everyone.
Check that
Del
out.
Boy is brilliant. He's funny. He's great, isn't it? And Honor.
Yeah, I love doing a show with them guys. Yeah, it's going to be great fun. So, Arsenal versus Brentford tomorrow. Fingers crossed it doesn't get called off. Bear with our Wi-Fi's, as you know, the storm is all over the UK. So if it goes out, it's the wind and the horrible weather.
Is raging. Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully everyone that stays safe and the game goes ahead because I've missed football and I can't watch the game against Wolves. So tomorrow is my game to be watching. And hopefully we win. It should be interesting.
We might have something to say about that, but there you
go. So,
could be a sting in the tail.
Steve, the only Brentford fan. How do you feel? Sandwiched between the two of us. What is your thoughts on the game tomorrow?
I'm sort of hopeful in a way that we can get a result, but you know, I'm going to give you a bit of a prediction already, right? Because my head is going obviously 2-1 Brentford. No, sorry, my heart is going 2-1 Brentford, but my head is going actually 2-1 Arsenal. So, you know, that's the way I feel about it. Because I think it won't be as easy as our first game with you. Because you didn't really turn up, did you? Let's be honest.
No.
So, you know, I think it's going to be a lot tougher this time, to be honest. And, you know, but I think we will actually get a goal. I mean, at the moment, we haven't actually scored more than 2 for quite a while. And I feel that's kind of on the cards. Whether that'll be tomorrow or what, I don't know. But I think we'll at least get one. And the only thing is it'd probably be Tony, because he's the only one who really scores for us at the moment. So maybe Mbome, he could get one as well, or Ericsson, of course, if he plays. So
yeah, you know, Ericsson is on the cards. He's been gearing up against in the under-23s. So maybe you'll see a bit of Christian Eriksen. Who knows? But Daniel, Arsenal fan, of course. How are you feeling about tomorrow's game?
I'm pretty confident, actually. I don't think it's going to be an easy game, but I'm confident that we can get the 3 points. I mean, we've got big prize at the end of the season if we win all our games, which is obviously top 4, which is what we're playing for. And actually, we need to win this game. You know, we need to actually get points on the board, especially when you look at the teams around us. You know, Tottenham have got Man City. That you would expect Man City to beat them. And then you look at West Ham, they've got Newcastle. That's not going to be an easy game. And I'm not entirely sure who Man United have got. But again, like, we need to just keep pace with those. And if we win our next 2 games, obviously we've got Wolves after this. If we win our next 2 games, we go into the top 4. But yeah, it's going to be difficult. You know, Brentford are a side that never gives up. And, you know, they're always at it. And that's the problem we're going to have. We have to be on our game. You know, we have to be on our game from 1 to 90. But I do think you're not going to see the same Arsenal that played against Brentford on, you know, the first game of the season. You know, this team have come such a long way since that first game. So I think, you know, at the Emirates with the crowd behind us. It's going to be I think it's going to be 3 points to the Arsenal. But you know what? The worry that I have is the lack of goals, because we don't score many goals, and Lacazette's not really good, and Ketia. So we're going to be looking at our midfielders to get the goals.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like we can win it. If I'm being honest, I'm probably going about 2-1 until I see the starting lineup. I never know. With Arsenal, obviously, Martinelli's not going to be able to play, which is a big impact, because it's how are we going to form up now? Yeah. So it it's going to be interesting, because at the moment I have no clue about the team. I have ideas, but I believe Tomiyasu's back, so that could be good for us. He's been back in.
They call him Tommy Cafu, isn't it? Yeah.
I am a fan of Tomiyasu. I like what I see with him, but obviously he still needs time to develop into the team. But yeah, go on, sorry.
He's got potential, and anyone's better than Bellerin. Bellerin. So, because Bellerin was no good, was he? Let's be honest. So,
no, I definitely feel like he's an upgrade. He's an upgrade from Bellerin. Okay.
He is a major upgrade. So, I think he's got a little way to go still, but I think he's good. I think he's good enough, and I think he will improve even more. So, you got to make him to a good right back, So.
Absolutely, and but overall, I mean, Arsenal are very poor. Oh, God knows how we're in 6th place right now. But for me, Brentford is a must-win. It is a must-win. Like, if we even want to think about moving higher in the table, which, as Jez says here, it would be embarrassing. I don't want us to get top 4. Let's be clear about that.
Legend, by the way. Big up, mate. Total legend. Brilliant.
Like, top 4 is so glorified when we're just going to go and get battered every week. I'm not up for that. Yeah, it has positives, don't get me wrong, right? It has so many positives to top 4. Right now, not what we need. It's a problem.
Do you know the thing is, I actually, and I've heard a lot of people say this, that top 4 is, if we get top 4, we're going to get battered every week. I actually don't think we'll get battered every week, because there's 2 reasons why I don't think we'll get battered. Is one, if we get top 4, we're going to be able to attract better players, and players that we've tried to attract, and you can say that maybe Arteta and have not got them over the line. I agree with that, but just even being rumoured with the players that we've been rumoured with shows that they're trying to get the players in. The problem is these top players only want to come to a Champions League team, and I actually do think if we get Champions League football, it's the key to us moving forward as a club. I'm not saying it's going to be easy being in the Champions League. It's another level. It's the next level up, and we might well and truly get battered every week. But I think we need to not. I think we need to not go off the fact that we've been battered every week before we got knocked out of the Champions League. Before we slipped down. I think we need to actually there's no point in looking at now. I think we need to get there. But I do think the longer we spend outside of Europe, it's going to be, we're never ever going to improve the team in the way that we need to improve the team to be challenging for titles, or to be challenging, even in the Champions League. So we need Champions League football to really improve this squad. And I do genuinely think that if we get top 4, then I think there's no excuses now. I think the board then will have to go and bring in the top players to complement the young players. But I do think we need to debunk this myth about it every week, because we're going off the past, and obviously that, that's all we've got to go off at the moment. But I do actually think, and we've seen glimpses of it this season, when we come up against the top team, we can perform. You know, we can perform. We've seen it against Man City. I know it all crumbled in the, you know, the second half, but I seen enough in that game. Maybe not the Liverpool game. Actually, maybe not the Liverpool game. We still need to improve away from home, but I do think I've seen enough to know that if with these group of players, maybe with a few additions, if we play like we did, certainly in that Man City game at the Emirates, if we play like that, then I do actually think we will fare decent against the top teams. It's just whether we can do that consistently. But I do think we need to debunk the myth that we're going to get battered every week being in the Champions League.
No, I agree.
Sorry, Gracie. Is it right? Can I just quickly ask Dan a question?
Go for it.
Right, let me just say, right, if you do actually get into the Champions League again, Dan, do you think you will actually compete in it though? Because you know we've seen what happened before. You've been annihilated in most of the games and been out in no time out of the group. You know, and
yeah, I understand that. I understand that, but we're in a different place back then. We're in a different place now than we were back then. You think we're under Wenger? Wenger did really play the top player. I've seen enough. You know, look at January. We were linked with Lajovic. The reason why he didn't come is because he wanted to play for Juventus, and plus we weren't in the Champions League. I think I actually genuinely believe if we had Champions League football, we'd be a better attractive proposition for top players. And look at it, I've seen reports today we're being linked to Lautaro Martinez, you know, another top player. So we are actively looking at the top players, but the sticking point is Champions League football, because you can only go so far. Look at Bukayo Saka. He said that if we don't make the Champions League, we could, you know, he could be off. So I do think to having the Champions League football is the key to keeping these players, and also it's the key to bringing in top players. Listen, whether we compete or not, I think we will compete. I think we're in those additions and we will compete. But I don't think that we'll ever be in a position to win it. I'm not saying that we're going to go in there and we're going to tear up trees and win it, because there's a lot of better teams than us. But I do think it will be the key to us. Certainly, maybe not in the Champions League itself, but certainly in the league, it'll improve our league position because we'll have top players. We'll have European football. You know, we've got. I don't want to use the word process because I hate that word, but we are at a stage now where we need those big superstars to come in and complement the young players, because right now these young players are trying to do it all on their own, and they're doing well, but they need extra support from superstars. And I think the only way we're going to get those superstar players is with Champions League football. I think if we go back into the Europa League, we'll just be at a status quo. Do you know what I mean? We'll just be back to where we were before we got knocked out of the Europa League, and I won't see that as progress, to be honest, because you know we're back to where we are. So the fact of the matter is, top players want to play in the Champions League. Whether or not we can compete in the Champions League is a whole different ball game and a whole different conversation. But top players want to be in the top European competitions, and that's the only way we're going to attract the top players, is being in the Champions League.
I think you'll only be in the Europa League, Dan. I think you'll only finish 6. You know, I think that's. I don't think you'll get.
Like, don't get me wrong, there's so many positives to being in the Champions League, but I don't have a problem with the players, right? I have no doubt in the ability of Arsenal's players, our players, right? I doubt the ability of the manager. Can he provide what those players need? And this is the question from Jez here. Who do you think would want to come to Arsenal with this manager? And he upsets and falls out with players. Absolutely right.
Exactly. That's what he does. Yeah, he's done it with Abba and all that.
Do you know the thing is, right? Do you know the thing is, and I'm not sticking up for this manager. Anybody that watches my channel, and Steve, you've watched my channel, so you will know that I've gone in I've gone in hard on this manager, but I've seen glimpses of the idea. I'm not saying he's going about it the right way, but I've seen glimpses of what his ideal team would be. You know,
don't
when you
get me
look at that
wrong, I
Man
see
City
it.
game.
I saw the Man City game,
Yeah.
but we didn't follow through. You know, that by far, that was the best performance I've seen in a very
Yeah.
long time. That was brilliant.
Got to be consistent, though, haven't you? That's the
But
thing.
the
But the reason,
discipline was
yeah,
ill discipline lost us that game, and that
Yeah.
stems from the manager and the management team.
Look, I'm not saying that the manager doesn't have a problem with the discipline, but I'm just saying these young players, you're going to get that from young players. You're going to get that from. I saw there a team that's, especially in those moments, those defining difficult moments, and it was a difficult moment when, you know, and actually, when you think about it, okay, yes, Gabriel got sent off, but Gabriel only got sent off because that whole chain of events, and I don't really want to derail this preview by talking about this, but though he only got sent off because the chain of events started by Granit Xhaka pulling that guy's shirt in the box, Bernardo Silva, I think it was, pulling his shirt in the box. You just don't do that. I'm sorry. Like,
But then
honestly,
Xhaka,
but
innit?
you don't do that.
Fault. Yeah.
Scuffing the penalty spot and getting the first yellow, that was another factor in him getting that red card. You know, I completely feel like those red card completely justified, right? Yes, it led up to a chain of events, but you shouldn't be scuffing the penalty spot. You know, that's wrong. That's cheating, and you shouldn't have to cheat to win, and it shows.
But also, another thing. Sorry, Dan. Is right. Another thing I see with Gabriel. Sorry, mate. I'll just make this point quickly. Another thing I see with him is that he gets a bit impatient and he goes in quite, you know, on the back of other players. He's a bit rash. Can you see what I mean? He's quite rash, isn't he, with his tackling? He's in so quick in behind on other players, and I can see how that.
We've Daniel's back.
You know,
we're good.
Sorry, go on. Sorry, go on, Dan. Sorry, mate. Sorry.
I think
do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, the Wi-Fi's playing up on your
no
end, I think.
Yeah, it shouldn't be my Wi-Fi because I'm on a high speed. I'm on fiber optic. It shouldn't be.
I'm all good.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Can you hear me okay though?
Yeah. We're breaking the internet with the debate.
I can hear both of you, really. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know if you got my point with that about Gabriel. He's quite rash, isn't he, with his tackling? I mean, he's a great defender, one of your best defenders, but he's very rash, isn't he? At the same time.
But you're saying like we shouldn't be doing that, Gracie. I know you said that we shouldn't be doing that with our players, but other teams do it. You know, you look at Man City, you look at Rodri. Rodri was fouling people left, right, and centre and still staying on the pitch. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just, I actually look. There's a fine line between discipline and actually being aggressive, and I actually like the aggressive side to our play. I just think that the
is he gone again?
He's frozen. And he's frozen.
I'm just going to remove him for a sec for it to come back, and I'll see it on there. Sorry to cut him off. Just while we're waiting for Daniel to come back, I'm going to get into some of these comments. So first one here from NS Sports. Do we know when the games against each other will be rearranged for? I don't, but all I know is that Liverpool games at home is being rearranged for the 26th of March instead. So that's all I know at the moment. Yeah, there's a massive backlog, and I believe that won't be happening anymore because they're looking at removing all the emergency powers on that. Let's have a look. Make sure you all go sub to Del Boy, guys. Me and him doing a show with Ola at 12 p.m. tomorrow. So hopefully you see a lot of you guys over there.
Everyone check that
It's
out.
going to be good.
Yeah.
You know, don't get me wrong. I agree what Daniel's saying, but I don't have enough trust, and I'm not being negative. I was if any of you guys watch Northside, you'll know from last night. Me in the chat.
You froze a bit then as well, Gracie.
The weather, the storm is coming my way. Really apologise for everyone in the chat trying to watch. We all know what it's like at the moment, but I don't see. I'm not against getting top 4. But I just generally don't see the point. I know it's going to attract money and players and this and that, but we still have to have a manager that can build on that. And I'm not being negative. I don't have anything against the guy. You know, I like Arteta. You know, it's his. I just don't agree with his management style.
Arrogant, you know what? But you know, I mean, okay. You know, we don't know him personally, of course, but we can only gauge by what other people have said. But you know, he doesn't seem to have a clue, though. That's the problem as well, isn't it? I mean, you know, he's waving his arms about and trying to direct people, and nobody knows what he's doing, do they? No, nobody can understand it. The players don't know. You know, what the hell is he doing? You know, he's such a rookie manager, the most amateurish manager I've ever seen, to be honest.
And this is coming from outside as well. But anyway, welcome back, Daniel. I think technical problems.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know what's going on with my Wi-Fi. Can you hear? Am I a lot better now? Can you hear me?
You're fine, mate.
You're good.
You're fine.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Bloody storm.
Maybe Arteta Wi-Fi, wasn't it? Arteta Wi-Fi there.
Yeah.
Or Jack Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I think we'll move on from this, and we'll come back to this later about this whole Champions League situation and the team situation and Man United. So tomorrow, hopefully it will go ahead. I see some people saying in the chat, it will probably be cancelled if it continues, but I think it will be fine. I think it's meant to calm down a bit and move out from London and over me in the southeast here. Slightly. So fingers crossed. I want the game to go ahead so badly. I want to watch some football. But let's get into the teams. So we'll start with Brentford. So Steve, obviously you know about Brentford. I don't really watch other football. If I can help it, only really watch Arsenal. So what team do you think you're going to go with?
It's going to be pretty much the usual. You know, at least we got Raya back in goal, which I'm very pleased about, to be honest, because the other guy, Fernandez, was a bit ropey, bit dodgy.
Oh, he's gone now as well. It's all happening. The Wi-Fi is going off. We'll come back to the Brentford side then, and we're going to move on to the Arsenal side for me and Daniel here. So, Daniel, what are you thinking for our defence tomorrow? What do you think we're going to go for?
I think so for the defense. I think we're going to see a back five of Ramsdale. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Yeah, Ramsdale, Tomiyasu, Gabriel, White, and Tierney.
See, to me, I think that's pretty strong. To be fair, the Wi-Fi is just cutting out on both ends. I think I think we're going to have to go for like another 10 minutes. And we're going to have to like resume it another time, I think, because this is just crazy, the storm. But I feel like that's a pretty strong defence there. Strongest we've got. So fingers crossed.
Oops, I'm back now. I'm actually back.
Welcome back. We're just going to go. We've just started the Arsenal side now where you left. So we'll finish that and we'll move back on. I think midfield-wise, we all know Xhaka is going to be in there. Let's be fair. He just walks his back in whenever he likes, and I don't think we're ever going to get rid of him.
He still plays,
Yep.
Arteta
Partey.
sent him a Valentine's card. Apparently, I heard that. Arteta sent him a Valentine's card. He loves him anyway. Yeah.
He does. Walks back in. So probably Xhaka and Partey I see playing.
Yeah.
But up front is where we're in a bit of a mix because we don't really know what's going to happen. Will Pepe get a game? Probably not. Who knows? It's a mystery.
Yeah.
He could. but he's not going to. If he
Yeah.
does, I'm going to be jumping up and down, even if there's a storm out there, because I want to see
That's
him
why I'm
play.
glad I said as manager, you know, because you don't play the threatening players that we'll be scared of, you know, like Pepe and
Yeah,
whoever
exactly.
else,
So no Martinelli.
Smith Rowe or whatever.
Yep, no Martinelli, of course, but Odegaard will probably be up there. We're probably looking at Lacazette, Odegaard, Smith Rowe maybe could play out on the side. Who I don't know.
I think Smith Rowe will come in. I don't think Pepe will get a look in.
No,
Yeah.
I mean he hasn't
No.
even been on the bench in quite a while. I don't
No,
think.
I think
You don't like him.
I think what he'll do is he'll go with Odegaard in that number 10 role. Then he'll put Smith Rowe on that left-hand side with Lacazette and Saka, unless he drops Saka out the team and puts in Pepe. But I can't see him changing it up too much.
No, absolutely. I think it's just going to be the same old, same old. But as Jess says, get Pepe on, get him in the team. Like you've got to use this guy. You paid so much money for him, and he's just sitting there, with clogging up the wage bill. You know, it's really frustrating. You know, I've got Pepe on a shirt and everything, but I never see him. So who knows? Who knows if he'll even play for us?
He's such a great player. He can be, you know.
He's
I know he costs too
technically
much
so
money.
gifted.
You know, I think 72 million was too much for him, but he's a class player though. Still, he's a skillful player.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't had the chance to prove his worth. So yeah, 72 million, that was ridiculous. Should never have paid that much, but he hasn't had a chance to prove it. And yes, I'm a Pepe fan. You know, I want to see him play. And anyone that could prove me wrong, if he doesn't show up, he doesn't show up. You know, I'll put my hands up and say that. Just give the guy a chance.
Free Peps, come on, free Peps.
Free
Let's
Pepe.
get it going.
Daniel, what are your thoughts on Pepe? While we're on the subject, what are your thoughts?
Sorry, could you repeat the question? My speech was talking right in my ear.
No, not a problem. What are your thoughts on Pepe?
I think it's make or break for Pepe, if I'm being honest. I think this is his chance to step up, but I do think actually he does need some game time. But I do think Pepe has a part to play. I think he'll come on as sub because he's the only real sub we've got other than Nketiah, which Arteta seems to love using Nketiah. But yeah, I think it's make or break for Pepe. I think if he doesn't do it, I think he'll be off in the summer.
Fair enough. You know, I could see him leaving. I mean, he probably wants to play football, you know, so he gets paid for. But we're not even using him in anything. He's just sitting around. Really, really annoying. But I think that's our starting 11. The ideal one, obviously, the front is a bit of an issue because I don't know what's going to happen. But so Steve, what is your Brentford starting 11?
Well, it's going to be pretty much the same as it normally is. As I say, Ray, you're in goal. Christopher Ajer, Pontus Janssen, usual really. You know, it's Bomo in midfield. You know, it's the usual lot really. Canos. It doesn't really change it that much. Janelt, obviously Tony and all that up front. If he can play, if he actually comes back, because I think he's had an injury or something recently or whatever. But you know, hopefully Ericsson will get a game at some point. We'll get a chance, you know, in that midfield. You know, I mean, it's you know, what we usually do is almost you could say, oh, it's a high press or whatever. Well, really, it's actually called parking the bus, obviously, as you know sometimes.
Yeah.
As you lot have been known to do. But
we're partial to a bit of parking the bus, Arsenal.
Yeah, but you know, some of the time it works, and obviously recently it hasn't quite worked as much as I'd hoped for. But you know, I mean, we've been in a lot of games that we could have actually won. We could have done better. You know, Man City. You know, we held them for quite a while until we gave away a penalty. You know, and then that was it. But we've been in a lot of games. Liverpool 3-3, things like that. Some games, Chelsea we played well against. And we probably should have beaten them.
Yeah.
But we just haven't got finishes. Some of the top, our finishing isn't there.
Bit like us, then. We haven't got finishes.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we got a lot of championship players. Some of them are championship, and they're it's good in that league. But when it comes up to the higher league, they're found wanting. I'm afraid. But
I have to say, I've got to be honest. I've been a bit disappointed with Ivan Toney this season. I expected a lot more from him. Only because like everyone's been bigging this guy up, and we need him at Arsenal, and I've not been impressed what I've seen. Like I've seen he's a decent player, but everyone was tipping him to be a real top world class player to step. People were tipping him to move to say Chelsea or Man City or. But I've not really seen seen enough of him, to be quite honest with you. And I've not really seen. Yeah. He's not really done it.
Yeah. He hasn't lived up to the hype, has he? No, I get what you're saying there, and he hasn't done it enough yet. There's still a few games left. You never know. He could go on a mad goal run or something. You never know.
Do you know what? I just want to say this quickly. Having said that, he'll probably score a bloody hat trick against us tomorrow.
No, don't jinx it.
Come on, Dan. Come on.
Do you know the thing is, every time I slag off a player saying he don't do well, then usually the next game he scores like a hat trick or 4 goals, and I'm made to look like a complete idiot for saying it. So
keep going, mate. Keep slagging him off. Come on. Let's have it, mate. Come on.
Oh, it's happening. It's happening.
I'm not necessarily slagging him off. I just don't think he's. I think he's overhyped.
Yeah, but he hasn't done it. Let's be honest. He got loads of goals in the Championship, but that's Championship. There's a whole different.
I could get loads of goals in the Championship.
Your wife could get loads in the Championship, mate. Come on,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But
exactly. She could. Even my dog could get loads in the Championship.
All right, boys, calm it down. The game's not happened yet. Speaking about the game tomorrow, I am going to be doing a watch along and a video call-in show. We're going to do the full shebang. I've decided. So make sure you guys tune in for that. It's going to be should be pretty funny. I'm quite animated during games. If you've watched one of my watch-alongs before, so if Brentford are really scoring hat tricks, I'm going to be crying on my fan cam. So I'm like, no, I'm done. I quit. This is it. No. Generally, all jokes aside, though, I believe we can win, but we can't underestimate Brentford. I know we were a completely different side at the start of the season to where we are now. It may not seem like a lot of change, but it is. And, at home, great record at home this season from us. It's decent. And it is Brentford as well. So you can say these things, but you've got to be careful because you cannot underestimate Brentford. They are always up for it. They're always up for a fight, and they will put it all out there.
Of course we are. And don't forget, we're also battling against the relegation. We're not far away from that, to be honest, although we may have enough points anyway. But, we still need to pick up some more.
I think you'll be all right with relegation. I don't think you'll get relegated. I think I've seen enough from Brentford to see that you'll stay up. You'll stay up.
Yeah. Oh, did you say we'd stay up as well, Gracie? Is that what you said? Or?
Yeah. I reckon
could be worse. It could be Burnley.
I thought you were disagreeing for a minute.
No. Fair play to you guys, honestly, because you've come up against all the odds, and you're staying up. That's massive. I think Watford in the relegation zone, they've come back up this season, and it's not going great. And Brentford have proved people wrong, and I think you are a good side, and with additions like Christian Eriksen. Yep. You have that opportunity to develop, and I think even though, yeah, championship, blah, 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 this, that, it is what it is, the championship, you know, it's why it's called that. And Premier League's higher, but it is a good chance for teams like you to develop and raise the standard.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I think if we could attract, I think we need to be, you know, higher up the table, probably with a chance of winning something to attract the real big players, you know. That's the problem. And I'm not sure we've quite got the money also to get the bigger players at the moment. So that's quite a tough thing at the moment, I'm afraid. But, you know, I'm sure it will come if we can stay in the Premiership and keep, you know, improving every season, if that's possible. You know, and getting further up there and playing better. Well, at the moment, I think we're playing defensive football, which we actually played a lot more.
I feel like that's what you need at the moment to be able to move high, like to maintain that level. You know, it's only your first season in how long has it been? Like 70 years? I don't really know, but a long time, right? A long time. And I think it'll be great to see what happens next season after you've had a season, you know, playing defensive football. Will Brentford eventually reach out a bit more?
Yeah. I think we can, you know, as long as we can stay in this season. I'm sure we can. I think we will stay up, you know, against all the odds, but I think we will, you know. We've just about got enough points. I mean, we are getting a bit scared of Norwich and teams like, because I think actually Norwich could stay up. You know, I actually think this time they won't go back down the way it's going, and probably obviously Newcastle. We got to worry about Newcastle as well. So the billionaires as they are now. So you know, it's you know we got to look out from behind now as well. So.
Absolutely. Well, I think we're going to wrap it up here in a second. I've just been, while you guys have been talking, I've been messaging Del Boy, and I'm going to hop on there for a bit with him and Jez.
Yeah, cool. Nice.
But just as Jez says here, reminder, on Tuesday next week, the regular All Things Arsenal show with Jez will be on. So make sure you are free for that. Usual time, 6:30. So it's going to be great. Usually is great chat, history, future, present. You get it all in that. So make sure you're staying tuned for that. Just in the chat, what are your predictions? And then we're going to go through our final predictions. So I'm going for, depending on the lineup, 2-1 or 3-1 Arsenal.
Right. What, do you want mine now or Daniel?
Yeah, you're honest. You're honest. Absolute prediction.
I know this is going to sound like I'm sitting on the fence slightly here, but right, I'm going on the. This is I'm going with my head to start with. I'm going to say 2-1 Arsenal, but also I'm going to go along with my heart at the same time and say 2-1 Brentford. Sorry.
You got to go. You got to back your team.
I'm covered with that, you know.
You got to back your team as well, Daniel.
Yeah. Daniel, hello, mate. You there?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah. I couldn't hear you guys. You're all sounding like Daleks.
I do anyway.
So, yeah, I'm gonna go for 2-0 Arsenal. To be honest, I think we'll win 2-0.
Good prediction, strong prediction there. But thank you guys so much for hopping on here. It's been a good debate. Hopefully we can do it some point in the future soon.
No worries, Gracie. Thanks for having me on.
No problem. Great, make sure you guys all subscribe to Daniel. His link is in the description, and also I've just popped that in the chat, so go over there, show some love. And I will be back tomorrow with a watch along, video calling show, fan cams. It's going to be the full match day program. But everyone, head over to Del Boy's channel. I think it's going live in about 20 minutes with him, me, and Jez. And also tomorrow with Del Boy at 12 p.m. So make sure you all stay tuned. But
Daniel, you're on at 7, aren't you? You're on at 7, mate. Yeah.
I'm on at 7. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is about 20 minutes time. So I'm gonna clash with Del Boy because he's on at 7 as well.
Battle with him, fight against him.
But yeah, but I'm going at 7. But yeah, I'd appreciate it if you guys could check out my channel as well. Would really appreciate that. I've got some
Absolutely,
big stuff
guys.
coming up. Got some big stuff coming up, and those that have subscribed, you know, I get some pretty big guests on. I had Charles Watts on a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that.
And obviously
Lots
Kevin
of
Campbell's
that
a
one.
regular. Kevin
Yeah,
Campbell's a
okay,
regular,
Jim.
and I've had
Yeah.
Fabrizio Romano on there, and
Yeah,
so
he's had all the
I've
top
got some
ones on
big
there,
stuff.
haven't you? Top names on there. Cool.
Absolutely, guys.
Yeah,
So if you want to see that, go check it out. Click the link in the description. But my final words, all I have to say is, I'll take her out.
I'll take her out. Come on, everyone say it.